Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Lines. I'm Brian Peter, and as usual I have my co-host with me, Javon Gapur. Now today's guest is a man who has been in the news quite a lot recently. He's been tasked with the job of rebuilding the nation's football league. And of course, he's no other than Chris Williams. Alright, thank you very much.
Yo, bless up.
So first things
and
first.
of course, you know, me have to represent.
We never really too happy say you take out the shirt.
Producer just blur
Bless.
Alright, so technically you're not a new face to football, but on a national scene, you know, you're relatively new. But what do you plan to bring to the national football scene in terms of leadership and stuff like that?
I think that my skill set is business. You know, I'm co-founder and CEO of Proven. So that's what I think I was asked to bring, and that's what I think I can bring. Business from the standpoint of structure, governance, contacts, relationships. You know, just merging the gap between the football fraternity and the business fraternity, and both need each other. So just being that middleman to ensure that the communication channels are open, and that the language barriers are removed, and you know, and we can get closer together.
Yeah. And you have a lot of experience in the business side. Of course, as you said, you're the CEO, co-founder of Proven. But talk about your football background. Where did it start, and how did things end?
Well, you know, I see myself as a big baller.
Well, me too.
Unfortunately, the coach never really see me as a big baller.
Same story.
You know, yeah. I still can't understand how them have the vision. You understand? You know,
to see the skills
and things. You know, it's coaching poor.
Yeah.
You understand?
At JC, right?
No. No. So I mean, I fell in love with football from a very early age. You know, 9, 10, and I used to I both track and football. You know, and of course, football is the ultimate social sport.
I agree.
Because you know, obviously you come together as brethren, you know.
Yeah.
And you bond, and you play some scrimmage, and you compete against each other, and at the same time you team up. So it's just the ultimate social sport. So scrimmage brought me into football, and just playing scrimmage, you know, in the neighborhood, constantly, and then of course at school constantly, and then you try and evolve from scrimmage to you know, to play in league, big field, and making a team, and that was also fun. Just, you know, just growing up in the community and trying out for teams at JC. And unfortunately, I went to JC. I never go to school like Wolmer's. You understand? If we go Wolmer's now, me at a 10.
No.
You understand? You understand what I said? If we go Wolmer's now, me at a 10. You understand what I said? Me at a big baller. Or Casey.
Casey a little bit worse than Wolmer.
Yeah, a little bit worse than Wolmer. So, you know, when you landed at the football factory, and you know, it was very hard to make the team, but you know, you fall in love with it and so on. And you know, I utilized the social aspect of football, and still do. Yeah. I still play to this day, but it has brought me closer to all my friends. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the scrimmage game. We talk about the leagues happening, and you know, chat on the phone at nights, and you know, just various aspects of football. You know, comparing, you know, Manu, big up Manu.
So you're a Manu fan?
Yeah, man, Manu fan. Yeah. And you know, just trying to trying to understand what's going on in the coach's head and so on, and the players. So football is a love affair for me. It's not is not something I even think about. It just happens naturally. I just get up and I just yearn to play and be around the sport. I never really got involved in the administrative side. I did act as a manager once for a team, and took a team on a tour to Miami, as asked by the coach to act as the manager, and so that was my first experience in the administrator role. But I'm not, I don't see myself as an administrator. I see myself, still to this day, I see myself as a player.
Yeah.
You understand? As a baller.
We all have dreams, Alright.
So with that said though, how did your involvement come into play with the newly formed Premier League?
Why they went on a strategic analysis, and big ups to the JFF, President Ricketts and his team, and also to the 12 clubs. So they went through some amount of introspection and established an advisory committee, and that advisory committee recommended that a new company be formed and a new board be established, and that board include three, possibly four independent directors.
Yeah.
And then they went about looking for the independent directors, and ended up at my desk, saying, boy, they wanted to just call me up one day and said they wanted to talk to me.
Okay.
And I said, sure, what's up? And then they came into my office and said, they would like me to join the board of the new entity responsible for driving the Premier League.
And that was because they wanted a more business-oriented approach.
I think so. Okay. I think so. They wanted the independence because I'm not aligned to any club.
Yeah.
But more importantly, they wanted the business understanding and the business contacts.
Okay.
And so I can only assume that they went on a scouting mission.
Yeah.
And somehow my name ended up in the pot, and they picked my name and they came to me, and I jumped at it. I have to try to find a way to get on the field somehow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I even a 10-minute run on the Premier League side, the most can give me that.
I mean,
the most can give me that. You understand?
It's like when you're the son of the coach.
Exactly. You understand what I say? Somebody sit back and say, this look like a way we can actually get a Premier League jersey. You understand? And say, yo, I play Premier League.
Right.
Is
there any particular club that you're
no, any one of them. Me take it. Yeah, man. Any one of them want give me a 5.
Right.
You understand what I say? You understand? So I said absolutely. I would love to serve, and again coming back from just the love of football and also your love of your country, and the fact that you want the future to be better than the past.
Right.
So that's your role. Your role in life is to do as much as you can to make sure when you hand over the baton, the next man run a better leg than you. So that's that's how I got involved.
And you've been, based on the outside view, you've been actually working really hard behind the scenes, getting sponsorship deals. I'm interested to know, how did you get the sponsors to come on board? The league recently, it hasn't had the best reputation.
Right.
So how were you able to convince these sponsors, listen, this is the project that I'm doing, let's buy into it and we can build something?
All right, the number one skill I learned at Jamaica College, never, ever, ever give up.
Okay.
Never give up. Just pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Like KC and not JC. Correct me if I'm
Casey,
never deal.
what that? Me don't know.
It just sound like you
Me
quoted
don't know.
how
No, but me don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
it's
Me don't know. The sound look like it off.
Yeah.
You understand? Look like we have to check the sound
Yeah.
because you might. I see him lips moving, but when I hear nothing, I come out time more. You understand? But no pressure bust pipe, and you just have to stay on it and just keep working the phones and ask the sponsors to give us a chance.
Yeah.
We do recognize that we were not in a position to present them with hardcore statistics that that would wow them. But one thing is for sure is that the Premier League packs the national stadium. You know, so and it's only 2 events pack the national stadium. Champs and the Premier League finals. So that was something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying to them, yes,
There's potential.
there's potential. Yes, there are challenges. There's always challenges. Champs never reach this stage, you know, from day one. But there is potential. It is clear that the people love the ball.
Yeah.
You know, and so we just, you know, spoke to the sponsors and said, listen, you know, at this time we need to show some light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a bad bet because consumers like the product.
Yeah.
So, you know, so grateful, very, very grateful that you know, and of course, you know, I'm talking to colleagues.
Yeah.
I'm talking to people I do business with. You know,
Okay. So it's easier.
outside of, so it's easier. So I'm saying, you know, if you not do that business here with me,
Okay. So
you know, me not take your call. Me not take your call.
So this is why they contacted you. Then. You can say there's everything.
Yeah. You have, you know, you use whatever in your arsenal. You know,
But if then it fails and it falls on you, then say them not do no more business.
Exactly. So there's a risk. There's a risk. No, you leverage your personal goodwill and integrity. And I'm comfortable with that bet because I believe that we have the skills in the country. I believe that we have the competence at the coaching and the management level. You know, some coaching, you know, because some obviously blind. Them not see certain talent. But some coaching is good and so on. And so I'm confident that the product will represent itself in a very exciting way in the years to come. Okay. We just need to give them a chance. You understand? We need to just give them the infrastructure to perform. And that is the case for most Jamaicans. Most Jamaicans have the natural ability in whatever their chosen field. They just need the opportunity. And so that was my line to them, and I'm confident that the players will step up and we're going to see some exciting ball.
Okay.
So as it relates to the sponsorship, that's basically one of the incomes of the league. How in terms of the distribution of this income, how are you planning to do the distribution as it relates from club to club? Is it a case where a higher percentage will be allocated to some clubs? And if so, what kind of instrument was used to determine it?
So the distribution is 2 ways. One is equal, which is you know, a kind of a maintenance monthly stipend. And then secondly is prize money. Yeah. So everybody gets the same monthly stipend, and then if you win the league, you get obviously the prize money. Okay. So you get an additional kick right there. So you know, and that's the model used globally. Yeah. So you know, I think it's fair, and I think it will give every club an opportunity to get a guaranteed base from which to build, and then of course those that perform and win, they get an additional, they get the rewards.
And also sticking to the sponsorship, is there any, first of all, are you involved in the development of the Super League and the Major League as well, or is it strictly Premier League?
Strictly Premier League. Strictly Premier League.
Okay, gotcha. So
Right.
nothing that is being implemented for this will affect.
Not. What we will seek to do, obviously, over time, is develop the feeder leagues.
Okay.
You know, and work with the feeder leagues, because obviously we want the top talent in the country, and so you're kind of limited by the weakest link.
Yeah.
So you need to rise all. You can't just have one big baller.
Exactly. Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Because it's 22 man on the field.
Yeah. Right.
You understand? So if it's only one big baller, you're not gonna get the level of competition and excitement. So we need to rise all 22. So we're going to have to work on what we call a development strategy.
Okay.
Which focuses on individuals, focuses on coaches, focuses on other leagues, focuses on management. So the first strategy is to get the commercialization, because without cash you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
So the first strategy is to get the cash. The second strategy is to work on the development, and to get the quality up.
Okay. And I like that you mentioned, the development of the players, because that's a perfect segue into what I want to talk about, the professionalism of the league. I want to talk about on the field and off the field. So on the field, the players, listen, if you want, Jamaican people stay, we love fight. And the professionalism within these players, normally you see a lot of red cards, a lot of fighting, a lot of cursing. Would that affect sponsorship? Or would that affect the brand of the
Absolutely. So we have to ensure that a high degree of discipline is demonstrated, because no sponsor is going to want to be associated with indiscipline.
Yeah.
So no, absolutely, we need the players, and if and when spectators come back in, spectators and so on, to operate at a high level in terms of discipline, so that we can maintain the brand, and grow the brand, and then get the necessary associations from a highly well-disciplined league.
Would there be any sanctions for players that breach discipline?
Absolutely. No, the JFF is responsible for that. So we actually handle the commercialization, marketing, and development, and then the JFF executes the league. So, but absolutely, there are fines, there's suspension, there's expulsion, full disciplinary committee, and so on. So we're very serious about that.
Okay.
One of the questions I had, and it ties in well with now that we're talking about the professionalism of the players, because with a certain level of professionalism, the players will then want a certain level of incentive or compensation. So how confident can these players be that, hey, when I get taken care, we'll become...
Not, what we have seen in the last month demonstrates that we're on a path to growing the revenue of the league. And the major expense in the execution of the league is player compensation. So this flows directly to the players. So over time, it's certainly not going to happen.
Yeah, it's a plan.
Right.
Yeah,
it's certainly not going to happen at day one or day two. But over time, we certainly expect to grow the compensation so that we're in a position to put the players in a comfortable lifestyle, and so that they can focus on their craft. They don't have to have a side hustle. They don't have to play ball and work, or play ball and have a stall, or which is the case now. So
when you say comfortable, you mean like a full-time job?
Yeah.
Triple 3-digit, 6-digit figures amount.
Woolman's boy.
Them thing there.
Yeah, that's where we have to try get to. That's where we have to try get to, because I mean, we need the players, you know, to earn a decent living.
Yeah.
A living that them can take care of them family.
Right.
So you know, and as you know, it's not going to be equal. You know,
Yeah.
there's
Naturally.
a ranking system based on, you know, your level of demand.
Yeah.
So you know, we get there. But the first is to build out the commercialization structure, so that we can have some revenues flowing, and then the rest will take care of itself.
All right, marketing.
You want to touch on it or you want me to?
Well,
Because
okay.
the thing is, with the marketing side of it, for me personally, what I am most intrigued about is it you guys will be doing all the marketing, or are you hiring a third party? How does that work? How you plan?
Well, we definitely will be working with a firm.
Okay.
We definitely will be working with a firm. We don't have the competence, nor do we have the internal resources at this time. So we will definitely be working with a firm to execute a marketing program. So we're now building through our marketing program, which includes a new mark, you know, logo and so on. And we've already indicated that the name is Jamaica Premier League.
Yeah.
And
Not the Jamaica Football League.
no,
Because I saw that doing the rounds in some media.
yeah, Jamaica. I mean, I've seen all kind of different.
Yeah.
Jamaica Premier League.
Okay.
All right, and we'll put that logo together, and then we're gonna have some exciting brand building.
What's the reason for that switch to Jamaica instead? Because previously, you know,
It was
the
national,
Red Premier League,
and it was
then-
it was Craven and
Right,
Rain.
there was always a brand that
There's always our brand.
What's the-
We two reasons. One, we looked at it and we said, which is the biggest brand in the country that we would like to be associated with? And without doubt,
It's Jamaica.
is Jamaica.
Yeah.
Fair
Is the name Jamaica.
Yeah.
So that's one. And then two, when you attach a sponsor, you have to rebrand every 3 or so years, right? And that you lose you lose some brand equity,
Right.
and so when you combine the two, what we realized is that if we said Jamaica Premier League, we would advance fan affinity to the highest level.
Okay.
And that's what we want. We want fans to say, yo, where are this weekend? Yo, may I watch Jamaica Premier League. You understand me? And them are wear the shirt and so on. So and it will benefit the sponsors more.
Yeah.
Because the higher the fan affinity is the better for the sponsors. So they get to piggyback on that fan affinity and merge their products with the Jamaica Premier League brand.
I want to go back on something that you touched on regarding the fans. So assuming that the Premier League will be starting soon, we'll talk about that later. But when the fans come back, I know that recently, or in recent years, we've had some issues with fans unrest, like throwing stuff on the field and, you know, saying things to the players and the referee. Are there any measures that you guys would put in place to, like, help control the dangers that fans?
Well, yeah, we've done some improvements in terms of removing bottles and so on from the field, from the venue.
Yeah.
We're going to have to continue that and improve on that some more, so that there are no missiles available for the fans to utilize. And then we're going to have to look at improving the venues, so that the distance of the fans from the field is also greater.
Okay.
So that, you know, we can enhance the safety of the players. And
in England,
and so
they put up some fences around the pitch. That wouldn't necessarily be a thing that you guys
If we have to get to that level, we
Then-
have to get to that level.
Okay.
But you know, we certainly need to ensure that the game can be played in a safe manner.
Okay.
Now, the is a double-edged sword, right? Because as you grow fan affinity, you grow passion,
Right.
and it is the same passion
Yeah.
that
Turns into-
Exactly. And you don't want to
violence,
eradicate that from the
right?
yeah.
So, and they have that all around the world,
Yeah.
right? Because the fans get so passionate that them cannot control themselves.
Naturally.
So it's going to be a work in progress. And I don't know that we have the solution, but we're going to have to keep working with the fans, keep managing the missiles, try and make sure we get as much distance, you know, boundaries, and just keep trying to convince the fans to express their emotion in another way.
Okay.
So it's that's going to be a big challenge. That's going to be a big challenge.
Moving from that to something, I'm sure Brian is
definitely want to touch base.
very, very passionate about. How do you what level of thoughts have you guys put into data collection and the presentation of data? Because being in the media, it's very difficult to get access to certain like players' activities, club statistics, all of that. Like what kind of plans you have in place for that?
We have a proposal in front of us from a data analytical firm to begin to cover the league.
Okay.
So we have a proposal in front of us to hire a firm that will be able to cover the league. Now, one of the first things that were needed was that we needed to increase the video coverage of the league, which will help to enhance the data. So that we know the coaches need it, the managers need it, the fans need it, the media need it. We need to know how the player them move, how much time them touch the ball, how much good pass they make. We need that data.
Yeah.
So
even when you sorry to cut you off, but even when you talk about in the beginning, where you say you and your friend them talk about the sports, it's hard to talk about the Premier League.
my youth, if
Because you don't know what you're talking
me did have the data thing from time, with a dep on the team because it's because the coach there's the coach that remembers me really pick up the ball. Yeah, you understand what I say? You know them ones.
Alright, so final question now, and I think it's a question that everybody wants to know. When can we expect the official confirmation when the league will return to action?
I know everybody wants that. I don't know. I don't know. I cannot give you a date. I can only say that, you know, it consumes every waking hour of all of us involved in the league, and we continue to appeal to the Ministry of Health to understand that the risk of transmission during football, during a game of football amongst the 22 players, because the bench, we can have social distancing, we can have masks and so on. So the bench is not a problem.
Yeah, that is probably one of your most difficult tasks.
Yeah,
ahead, but
yeah.
I'm sure we can all agree that you and the team have been doing an excellent job so far.
Thank you.
And it is very interesting to see the next couple of years, you know, under the plan that you guys have for the Premier League, and to see how it will develop.
Yes.
So thank you again for speaking with us today. I appreciate it, even though, you know, you're saying I talk to Wolmersman and Casey. But it is much appreciated.
represent, fervent for life.
All right. Much respect again.
All right.
876 stream.